Thank you, Trini. Grieving the loss of a loved one is always a difficult job. That's why the good people at Hospice Hawaii came up with the idea of a bereavement camp. And with us this morning, Ken Zeri and Chaplain Clarence Liu to talk more about the camp and about the grieving process in general. Good to have you both here this morning.
Good morning, Kurt. Thanks.
First, we should say the camp is coming up in June. Who's that aimed at? Who would benefit by going to the camp?
The camp is primarily aimed at families, children from 7 to 17, and their families. These are folks that have had a loss in their family for somewhere in the last 3 to 4 years. It's really geared for that family. Yeah,
we should point out that this is not just for those who in the past week or month have lost someone, because the sense of loss lingers for a long, long time. Anyone who has gone through that understands that. Does it take special training for your counselors out there, Chaplain?
Yeah, we do a lot of training for it, Kirk. We have a band of volunteers, some staff that come out, and actually even families who have been through it before. The theme this year is Grief is a Journey. And the opening exercise is going to be us taking the whole families, all of the families, to the hokulea and letting the kids play around, and really, it's a time that it's not just serious, heavy stuff, but a lot of fun, a lot of activity. We do a lot of arts. A couple of the exercises are we're going to be using teaching Asian brush painting as a way to calm the children down. And
we often hear the word closure when it comes to the loss of a loved one, but for some, that's not a possibility. So when you say it's a journey, what we're talking about is getting toward some sort of resolution, whether it's closure, whatever you want to call it.
Right. For every person, there is that different path that they must take. What the camp helps people do, camp helps family do, is recognize that they're going to be together on this. It may be that children have had to grieve separately from parents because parents want to be sure that we're strong in front of my child. And Clarence and the team teach families how to do this together, that it's okay to do this together. And so it's not such a closure that it's done and that part of my life is over. Rather, my life is now, has that as part of it, and I can live a good life with it.
It's a chapter.
It's a chapter.
Absolutely.
Is there a difference? This is really clinical and philosophical. Is there a difference between someone who loses a loved one suddenly or loses someone over a period of time, as is often the case with hospice work?
You know, Kirk, the death is always difficult. Even if, grandma has been sick for a long time, and when she finally goes, it's still very difficult. However, you're absolutely right. When death is the death of a child, or a sudden death, or even a suicide, it enhances all of those emotions, so it is much more difficult. You're absolutely
the bereavement camp would be valuable to anyone in any event, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yes. Once again, the dates?
The camp is June 25th through 27th, but we're actually here this morning because there's preparatory work that has to be done, and that's coming up very soon. So people should get in touch with us this week to get a space for their family in that camp.
All right, Hospice Hawaii, always doing good work. Chaplain, Ken, thanks very much for being with us this morning, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thanks, Kirk.